Okay, this is a video that Niaz Khan asked. I had sent him this file, but he was still struggling with how this all came together. If I just take that out, I'll just put a very simple material on that and call it base. And this is the final thing. If I turn off the actual modifiers, you can see it's really just one piece. If we go into edit mode, that's what it looks like. And we're just going to show how we replicate this. And I'm going to do it in two ways. One, this way with the modifiers and the empty to control the array. And another one where it's all purely done within edit mode itself off a cylinder. And so, right, let's get started. So I'm going to hide that collection, create a new collection, call it work. I'm going to add in cylinder, and I'm going to make the depth 0.2. Right, go into face mode. Get rid of the top and bottom faces by delete faces. Right. I'm going to select edge mode, that one, and delete vertices. Then select all that, delete vertices. That gives me a quarter, and I could work with that, but I also want to mirror what happens here to here. So I'm actually going to select half of these faces, which I know to be 8 because there's 16 faces. Delete those faces. Right, then make sure my pivot point is set to 3D cursor. I'm going to put control loop in and scale. Then I'm going to use a bevel on that edge to give me the roundness I want. And I'm going to add a loop cut here because what I'm going to do here, I want to stop at a certain point. I'm going to bevel that like that. And I'm going to select everything and I'm going to merge by distance. And that's made sure that any points around that are there gone. So I'm going to take those and delete the faces, and that's our base look. So shade it smooth, auto smooth. If you've got hard ops, you can do that with a single click by simply Q and sharpen. It would do the same thing, but just sets it to 60. It's your control layer, so I'm going to put 35 in there so it uses that in future. Right, now add in a solidify modifier, even thickness and high quality, and to be honest that'll do. And then I'm going to apply that straight away. Go in face mode, alt click to select that, then use C and use the middle mouse button to deselect the stuff that I want to keep. So which is basically the bottom and the middle. I just want those outer edges. Would have been quicker to just select those in this instance, but anywho. I'm going to go into vertex mode and GG. I'm just going to slide these a little, just to, because I'm not going to allow for the fact that I'm going to be beveling. So right, so there's my one piece of item. Slap a base material on it, and there we are. So now we go to the modifiers and we add a mirror. Oh, actually, I haven't said that. What I can do is I can do just half of this. If I select edge, select that, and delete the face, the vertices. Do the same again. Delete the vertices. Delete those. Now I've just got that. So now when I add my mirror, I can use the Z and I can use the Y, and that basically gives me 1/2. I'll do the clipping as well, and now I need to add the other half. To do that, I add an empty, and then in the modifiers for this I add an array. I turn off the relative offset. Sorry about the dog in the background, she's just heard something she doesn't like. Turn on object offset and just pick my array. Bump. Sorry, my empty. Select that, RZ90. And again, go back into there, set to merge, set first to last. And there's the object, the final object. Now the trouble with that, if I then move it, you can see if I move that, that goes, so I would have to select both to move them, so be aware of that. You could try parent up that to the object and then just move the array, that, but, and again if you RZ on that, oh sorry, go to medium point, RZ. So now it's parented, it still behaves, it does what it should do. Now if you want to make that real, as it were, I personally keep the original. I would select that, and then I'd just apply all the modifiers. And I'll do an Alt P, unparent and clear transformation. Then I can just move that by itself. And that now is a complete item all of its own. To make it look a bit prettier, you could throw a beveler on it. I'll say 1mm on an angle. Let's turn it down now. Let's see how big that angle is. So 2mm, and harden normals. And there we go, there's the object. So let's now do that purely within object mode, in edit mode rather. So again, mesh, cylinder, face mode, delete the faces. Let's hide them, so we know we're only dealing with this one. And again, do the same thing, edge mode, take that, delete the vertices, select that, delete the vertices. Take half of those faces, delete them, delete the faces. Pivot mode to 3D cursor, add a loop cut, scale, control bevel, and just holding shift here to get a relatively even cut, and control R there, select these two, control bevel, select everything, alt merge by distance. My distance at the moment is 2mm. Again, select these faces, delete the faces. And actually you could delete these as well. Delete all these faces. There we go. Select everything, do an Alt-E along normals, and then you can either push it in or push it out, doesn't really matter. See about there. And we want to get rid of these faces and those two faces. So delete the faces. That's it. Right, so now we've got everything. I'm going to turn on face orientation just to make sure that everything goes the way I want it to. Select everything, Shift D, return. That's duplicated it. And I'm going to do Control M for mirror and do Z. I'm going to select everything, Shift D, return, Control M, Y. Select everything, Shift D, return, Control M, X. So select everything, Shift N to align the normals, and again Alt merge by distance. Now that's still got edges that are not lining up. So I'm going to select everything again, and I'm going to Alt merge by distance, and I'm going to knock that up to say 5 millimeters. There we go. That's got it. All good. Right. Select everything. Shift D, Alt Z 90. Select everything. Alt merge by distance again. Okay, I can take face orientation off now. And come out of edit mode, give it a base material, and then just say you can shade smooth and apply the auto smooth, which let's say if you've got hard ops it's one button, which is a bit quicker. And then again add a bevel, hard normals 2 millimeters, angle, turn the clamp overlap off. I always do that just so I know if it's going to go squirrely. If you have it on, you're not really got as much control, I think, whereas with it off and a shift you can see where you're playing with. So I'll say 2.2 millimeters. Yeah, that's nice. And if I want to add a bit of a curve on here, I can do a Control R on the top, do an Alt S, push it up a bit, and then just do a Control B, and just add in a bit of a curve, and that gives me a nicer curve. So that was all done in edit mode as opposed to with modifiers. Results the same. As with everything with Blender, there's multiple ways of getting the job done. So I hope that was of use.